farmers, welcome back to East Vineland, where it's starting to look like a farm around here. The last few months kind of transformed it just a little bit, but it's looking a lot better around here. I did clear up all of the pallets of lime and fertilizer, well, the lime. I put the lime into storage over there. I'm not too sure how it's settling in over here. They were bouncing around quite a bit earlier, but they seem to have settled. But if they come up missing, we may find them somewhere else on the map. I did get some equipment down here to our new shed. I mean, a lot of the things around here are new, but the solar panel shed that we put down, yeah, I got our baling trailer under, and now I've got our drill under. Eventually, we'll have one of our big headers in here for a combine that we're going to get. I don't know we're going to get it. It's going to take a while. So, you may remember the grass field over by the hobo hut, our original little home here. Fertilizing wasn't working too well. And I finally figured out what the problem was. I thought about it for a second, and it says I couldn't figure out the crop type or anything. Our soil sample is out of data. It's out of date, basically. So we got to go over with a soil sampler, take a couple samples, we'll send it on in, and then, oh yeah, I got the flight mode on here. There we go. So let's grab our new T8. Let's go over and just, drill a couple of holes, get some soil samples, and we'll be good to go. Send those samples in. Then I should be able to fertilize it, and I think I'm done for the month of March. I just got to do it today because I got to put the fertilizer on today because, well, next month the grass will be ready for harvesting. Now let's go ahead and unfold this. And I'm going to grab 2 samples, I do believe. I think right here would be good. Lower that down. Wait for it to stop blinking, then we'll get our other sample in. So tomorrow in April, either way, if it's on sale or not, we're going to be buying the butterfly mower and probably the weeder. So hopefully I got enough cash for all that. Alright, so I got those samples. Which one is it? Is it Y to send the samples in? Yes, Y. Why not? It's going to be really, really cheap. Let's go ahead and... That was interesting. Move my camera like that. And fold that on up. $300. And we should be good to go. We'll find out here in a second when I grab the fertilizer spreader and come on over. Whoops, traffic. Oh, yep, turn right into them. Just driving like I do in ATS recently. Just running into everyone. Let's go drop the soil sampler off back in the shed. We'll grab the fertilizer spreader. Quickly take care of that grass. If that soil sample was out of date, it's not going to be long before this grass field right here is out of date as well. Possibly in the future, I could just go ahead and have another company do our soil sampling, but for now, we're going to do it ourselves. Why is that button, every time I hit that now, lowering that? That seems kind of weird. Alright, now let's grab our spreader. I dropped it off that way? Okay. Don't remember which way I positioned it. I think what gets me is there's a yellow label right in the dead center of it on the back side. I keep thinking that's a PTO shaft sticking through. I'm kind of interested. If I lower that, it's going to change my camera. Why is that changing my camera angle? That is so weird. I wonder what is making it do that all of a sudden. I don't know. The only thing I did on this save game is I did activate the Platinum Edition just because I want to possibly use the Volvo truck in the future. So I'm not sure what's going on here. Why every time I hit my button to lower equipment, it changes my camera angle. There we go. Now I can see it's grass, and now we're spreading fertilizer in this field. So by getting the weeder, we should get our environmental score way up because it says we're not treating it for weeds anywhere. And that's all I needed to do there. So I think what is our environmental score? I think it's like 77. Yeah, overall weed control is kind of terrible because we haven't done any weed control. And also, next month, the wheat should have been grown here. And then we should be able to fertilize that also. All right, let's go ahead and park this on up. And let me guess, my camera's going to change by lowering that. That is weird. All right, let's grab the T8 here and just drive it on down. We'll park it outside, leave it outside. Because I'm just going to bed. We're going to wake up here in just a few seconds. It'll be fine outside for a day. Park that right here. Is there a little door for me to go into? There's a big door. Big door. Big door. Yeah, it's all big doors. So it doesn't really matter which door I go into. Open? Oh, I'm picking up the combine behind me. Let me turn off super strength. There we go. Didn't know what I was trying to activate. It's like, oh, you want to pick up the combine or open the door? And I was choosing the combine. Let's go upstairs to our beautiful home. Close that on up. Nothing in the store, so we're just going to go ahead and go to bed. 8 o'clock is good. We should, I think we're sitting at, what, 120,000, something like that? Should wake up with a decent amount of cash and income from the solar panels at the top of the shed, the wind generator. Up to 181,000, that is nice. Forecast says it's sunny outside. Let's go here and close that on up. How are the wheat fields? Wheat fields are looking good, except for the weeds and not being fertilized. So overall, it's not too bad. It's going to look much better around here. For sale? Well, a honeybee. Is that the 60-footer? That does not look like the 60-footer. The Airflex 236. Is there more than one honeybee header? Yes, the 236 is actually a 11 meter. Yeah, we want this guy right here, the 60-footer, or an 18.3 meter. That is what we're looking for. Oh well. I think the last 2 days it got me excited when I saw, I think last time it was the T6 New Holland. We won the T8. And an ideal combine that is not too bad either. Which one is this one anyways? But it's not the combine I'm looking for. It is the 9T. That is a really good price for a 9T. But that, I should have stayed in the store page. Alright, so the couple things that we need today. Let's go down to mowers. And Kabota. Because we got the front, we need the rear. And what we need to do, we need to add the Vario BX mod, or module. And what that allows us to do, allows us to swap it all into the center. I think we got all the decals in the right order, like we do for the first one. So that's going to cost me 75 grand. Let's go ahead and buy that. And while we're here, we're not done. Because we got to take care of them today. Because I don't have a tractor with narrow tires on it. Sprayers. And does this one come with it on or not? No, it doesn't. So I don't need nothing that size. Although, if I were, let's compare pricing. Working width would be 28 meters. That's 115,000. I think I can definitely get this one for a lot cheaper. 28, weed spraying, and we're talking 80,000. And that's all I really need. Capacity, I can up the capacity on it. So 1,800 liters up to 7,500. I don't think I need that much at all. We don't have that many fields. I can always upgrade it in the future if I want to. Let's go ahead and buy that. Well, we are all set. That brings us down to 26,000. I still got to buy fertilizer and herbicide for today. I was kind of hoping to maybe buy the tanker maybe for the sheep's milk. I can probably sell some of that. Actually, let's see how the sheep are doing. These are two purchases I definitely needed to get done today. The sheep's milk is... Oh, so I was like, I don't see any because I got to get it spawned in. Yeah, they're doing pretty good. I think I'll get another row of canisters that can go there, another row of pallets. What I'm doing is going in to see what their food looks like. They're still doing fine on food. The chickens are doing better. The reason why their health was down, they ran out of cracked corn last time, so their health was down. But I'm pretty sure the chickens are making the eggs. All right, let's go down to the store and get our new 2 pieces of equipment. If I put the butterfly mowers on the front, I can probably put the sprayer on the back. Alright, let's back up to the sprayer. Get that on the back, and I'm hoping I can just attach the... Nope, wrong button. That button there. I'm hoping I can attach the butterfly mower to the front. I should be able to. Did I not? Oh, there it was. Guess it just wasn't lined up correctly. There we go. I'm like, why can't I attach that? That seems kind of weird. Alright, since we are here, let's go ahead and fill this up with herbicide. Should be able to. Yep, herbicide. Fill it on up. So, it's about 1,000... Whoop, mailbox. Sorry about your mailbox. I do apologize. But the amount of money I spent here today, I'm pretty sure you can afford a new one. Or I'll come back down and with my shovel and put it on in for you. Yeah, so the herbicide is like, you know, $1 per liter, basically, what it comes down to. The mowing we'll do later. I want to get to spraying the weeds down. Because immediately that should show up on Precision Farming that we've done weeding. And we're doing the see and spot spraying, so that should give us the max score on the weeding. So that way, if we decide to sell anything later on, with our Precision Farming scoring going up, we'll get a little bit better bonus. It actually seems kind of weird driving back to the farm and seeing that big red barn it just pops. And that's what someone left a comment on. I asked why did all the farmers back in the day paint their barns red? And I mean, it was an easy answer. Everyone, because red sticks out. It just shows up better. Which makes sense. I mean, it does show up better, but is that the only reason why they painted their barns red? I don't know. Alright, butterfly mower. We will get back to you in a little while. Let's drop that on down. Now, there are no weeds in our grass field, but Precision Farming says we haven't done any weeding, so just to give you an idea what's going to be happening here. I'm just going to turn on just for a second. But if we go in this field right here, okay, I'm scrolling in. Usually it shows you the overall score for every field. Usually you can see the individual score for the field. What? Okay, I'm not sure why. Usually it shows you the individual score for the field. That's fine. Must be a conflicting mod somewhere. Position would the Platinum Edition have anything to do with it? Or maybe the crop rotation, because I did add that. I'm not too sure. But let's go here. Let's just lift this up. So we were... Oh, yeah. I figure out what's going on with that key as well. Whole bunch of things that's going weird here. Let's raise that up. And let's see. Change working width. Turn on sprayer. Deactivate automatic application rate. No, we don't want to do that. So it's going to spray it on. Shouldn't use any herbicide whatsoever because there's no weeds here. Alright. So that's one field down. That's all I had to do. Now we do have crop destruction on, but the crops are only in stage 1 of growth. So we're not going to harm them anywhere. And this is what See and Spot spraying will do for you. It's only going to spray the herbicide where the weeds are, so we're hardly going to use any herbicide whatsoever. And I'm glad I got the big working with, because we'll take care of this problem very quickly. Well, it feels really good to have, upgraded the farm so much since, well, last fall till now. Definitely going to make working around the farm a lot easier. But we still got a long ways to go. And I did say I was going to cut way back on the amount of contracts I was doing. I was doing loads of contracts in between episodes. And basically, I'm probably not going to do any contracts in between episodes anymore. Maybe some fertilizing contracts now and then if I do want some cash to go ahead and buy something. So I should mention this because there's probably a lot of new viewers watching this series, because in the last week we've gotten like 200 new subscribers to the channel. On this series here, in case you didn't watch episode 1, we had a few rules. I cannot take out any loans, so we started episode 1 with no money and no equipment, so we can't take out loans. We cannot lease any equipment unless it was for doing contract work, which we did. Pretty much that's all we did in like the first 5 or 6 episodes, was doing contract work, and then we bought land and slowly built on up. So when I say sometimes I may need some cash, I'll have to do a contract. You may say, why not take out a loan? That's why we don't have loans here. So right now, probably the only reason why I would do a contract is just to get a little bit extra cash, or maybe change up what we've been doing on the farm. But in the springtime, we got to make sure we take care of our fields. And I really haven't done any weeding at all in Farming Simulator 22. Elm Creek, we were only on for like a dozen episodes or so. And then we went to No Man's Land. And there I plowed the fields every year, so weeds wouldn't grow. But here, yeah, not so much. We're not going to do that much plowing, if any. Unless it requires it. And of course, we just added crop rotation to the mix. So it's going to take a couple years for that to really take effect, even though it's already added the first 2 years for us. Actually, with having 2 tractors now, I could actually get Frank to come on over and probably do a job or 2 while I'm doing something else, but this isn't going to take me that long to do. And I haven't gone through 100 liters of herbicide yet. Now I'm hoping this takes care of the weeds for the year. It should. So I think I would like to save up probably for the combine. I know last year when I was harvesting these fields, I'm like, it's not that bad. But as the job went on longer and longer and longer, I started thinking, all right, maybe the bigger combine would be nice just to get the job done a little bit quicker. But if I don't have the money by the end of the, by the time we get to harvest season, not that big of a deal. Unless I buy more farmland and we got more fields to deal with. But I don't have a shed to put a big combine in. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but this T8 just barely fits underneath that shed. To give you a rough idea, that shed I thought was a lot bigger, but the T8 just barely gets under that roof. So a combine's not going to fit in there. Yeah, this should definitely help out our score on precision farming. All the fields up by the farm are done. even that tiny little field that I can't see and ever get rid of, I made sure I sprayed there as well. And I even went into my controls to figure out why every time I raise or lower my equipment on the back of a tractor, the camera pans down, and I can't find the same button that would activate anything else. So, not too sure there. I was a little confused at first. It said, you must own the land. I'm like, I do own this land. This was the first true field that I bought, where our hobo hut is, up by the chickens. That's not a field, it's, well, just land. But this is the first field that we bought. I think it had canola in it when we bought it. Brought that over to our fuel refinery to make some fuel, some pig food, and some compost. Pig food we're going to be keeping because a lot of you said, yep, do pigs. So we'll be having some pigs here on the farm in the future, along with the meat market. Meat market is expensive. $350,000 to place that meat market down. So hopefully that stuff pays off. And I got to figure out where to put it, because it's a decent sized building, so I have to buy some land somewhere. I have talked about buying one of these grass fields. I guess I could buy a grass field and plop it on there. I don't need that much grass for a sheep. Right, there should be a little bit of a strip down the center. I will take care of it because it's not like I'm wasting herbicide. It's only going to spray where it sees weeds. So I've used about 200 liters of herbicide. So I'm glad I didn't get that big tank that holds 7,500 liters of herbicide, was it? That would last me for a couple years, easily. Even if I do expand. Alright, so we are done weeding. So what does that do to our environmental score? We were at 77. And now... no, I don't want to see that. I want to see our overall score. There we go. We're up to 89. Not too bad. Let's see. I don't know what else will be out of date. I don't know why the individual fields are not showing up on the scores. Usually when I scroll in enough, it would tell me what's going on. Usually I get the bars for the individual fields. I'm not sure if the crop rotation's doing that or what's causing that to do that, but at least we can see our own scores, and then we kind of overall score, we can see what I mean, I know this needs nitrogen. All of our fields need nitrogen. Not the grass fields. We're all set in the grass fields. But that's what we're going to do next. I want to make sure I get that done because if I forget about it and we go another month or two and the crops grow to stage 2, yeah, without narrow tires and I go into a field, I'm just going to destroy a lot of my crops. So let's go put the herbicide sprayer away somewhere. We'll grab the fertilizer spreader, start fertilizing the fields. I probably should top it off with fertilizer because I'm probably going to need a decent amount. It is nice that not having to go all the way down to the store to get this stuff. And it might be just a little bit cheaper here too. I'm not too sure. Go ahead and fold that up. And it shouldn't take us long to go ahead and get this taken care of. Although it does need a lot of fertilizer. You can see where it's at and where it needs to be. Now the stats are looking so much better, and the color is almost like Christmas down the bottom left-hand corner with the green and the red. And we should pretty much have a perfect yield with a crop rotation. We just spread this with lime, got rid of the weeds, putting fertilizer down after the crops grow. This should be a very, very good harvest. Yeah, I should have enough fertilizer to get this job done. Or these jobs. Now, as for the silage that we're going to be creating here, probably that'll be next episode when I get to the mowing. Definitely going to save that up for December/January when the price is best. But we will keep it around if we ever, like I said, if we ever need the cash. It's always sitting there. Right now, basically our only income is from green energy, being solar panels or the wind turbine. Now, a few of you people have said, I asked about the compost, what should we do? I mean, there is a building I could put down that will buy the compost, but the sale point is going to be like 100 and some odd thousand. And mostly, mostly, the two people I saw comments said, yeah, that's something the town should pay for, not for us. I mean, not us that we should pay for. So, compost does sell for a decent amount. I really don't have, or at least I don't plan to use the compost for anything. I know Zuck does have some mods that will take the compost. I could make it into other things. But since we did so much production on No Man's Land, and I'm going to be doing a lot of productions on Silver Run Forest, I really don't want to get into a lot of productions here on East Vineland. So I don't want to have like 6 production buildings that have to do with, you know, making compost, using compost for this, which leads to that. So I think we'll just put down the building somewhere and sell the compost straight up. See, after I get done spreading this field with fertilizer, I'm going to jump out and just check the stats on it. See how it looks. Now, it wasn't that long ago we had about a $500 million, but we put down some barns, some sheds, got ourselves this beautiful T8 New Holland tractor. Now we got ourselves a sprayer for weeds. The mowing should be a lot quicker job. It usually takes me just these 2 small grass fields here with a single mower. It took me about 45 minutes to mow and get the bales wrapped, but now it's probably going to be very, very quick. See if I can get Frank to follow behind us when we do mow the grass. He'll drive the Class Arion with the Kabota baler to bale up the grass. And of course we'll be in this T8 with the butterfly mower and the mower in the front. I don't know when this started becoming a Kabota series a little bit. I think the first piece of equipment that you guys talked me into was the Kabota baler, and luckily for us, the Kabota baler came up for sale. It was half off, and I'm like, well, if we got the Kabota baler, we have the Kabota motor, Kabota mower, and now we got Kabota everything here. How are we looking here? Crop rotation is at 115%. pH value, nitrogen is at perfect. Expected yield. So this is where it is. You can see the crop rotation is working. The yield potential is at 100%, but with the crop rotation, expected yield is 105%. So that the crop rotation is taking effect over the precision farming. So I'm wondering if that is not screwing up our precision farming a little bit. Expected yield 112% out of 100. That's pretty darn good. So crop rotation is looking good. Yeah, this field for crop rotation says potatoes and potatoes. Last year we had soybean in this field, but then I activated the mod for crop rotation, and crop rotation is going to make up its own 2 crops ahead of time. So next year we may have to put a different crop in that field. We'll see. But that's a ways away. Oh yeah, I do need a shed for our hay bales. Even though leaving them out in the sun and the weather doesn't really matter in Farming Simulator 22 with seasons. It's not like 19 where it would decompose. But it would be good to get a bale shed and put that in there so it's under cover. But since we're down to 17,000, we got to watch my money. But the good news is, every hour we're earning roughly about $3,500 of passive income. Wait, did I plant wheat everywhere? I don't think I planted wheat everywhere, did I? No, I don't think I did. This is saying for wheat. I thought the other two fields were wheat. I don't remember. It's been about 10 days since I recorded an episode of East Vineland. I know it was 2 fields of wheat. Maybe the other field was canola. I think it was canola. The first field I fertilized, that was canola, and then the second field was wheat. And this one's wheat. Yeah, so maybe the grass contracts I will still do if it's for silage, because silage contracts are very easy for us to do. Yeah, so what did I plant in those fields? It's wheat. So yeah, it is canola. Sorry, canola in this field right here. Yep, canola, and then of course wheat. Oh, so it is April. So who's got some corn? Anyone plant corn? Field number 62 is corn. Field number 11 is corn. I want to get some fields that are close to us. So how much does field 62 go for? Just $574,000. Okay, how much is field 11? $678,000. Are there any small fields with corn in it? Field 66. I can imagine. I mean, that field's not too far. How much is field number 66? Well, now we're down to 423,000, but I don't think I'll be able to afford that by this year. Not at all. Oh, wait. Are these some small cornfields down here? Well, we got some small ones down here. Now, the only reason why I want to buy a field with corn into it is I do want to buy the grain mill so I can make cracked corn for the chickens. It's not that big of a deal. I could always just go down and buy it. That field's 122, 124. But those fields are, I mean, they're a ways away, but not that far. So something to think about. We'll see how the money situation goes. We'll leave the fields as is for now. And speaking of leaving the fields as is for now, we should be all set here as also. Yeah, so we're getting 5% more than the potential yield, which is good. So we should be doing very, very good on these fields this year. Just need to save up the cash. Speaking of the contracts, though, just a few seconds ago, since it is mowing season. Let's see, that's tedding. And that's tedding. It's just a lot of work because you got to mow the grass, you got to ted it, then you got to windrow it, then you got to bale it. If you were just doing silage, I could just mow it into a swath and have Frank or whoever behind me and doing it with a Kabota baler, and they can pick up the grass, wrap it up, and bale it. We're good to go. So look at all the fertilizing contracts. I can get a lot of cash by doing fertilizing contracts. Spraying the field, is that with for weeds? I mean, those pay rather well. I know I said I wasn't going to do any of that kind of stuff, and here I am looking at those kind of weeding contracts. Because with the See and Spot sprayer being on, I don't go through that much herbicide. So if I want to get a whole bunch of cash this year, I keep trying to tell myself, don't do contracts. Don't do contracts anymore. And now you're looking at contracts because you can't help but see the money that you could bring in. Because it just felt so great the last few episodes, or handful of episodes, upgrading the farm to where we're at. I'll have to think about it. I may do some fertilizing contracts, may or may not. We'll see. But we got to get to mowing this grass, get that baled up, put those aside for a while, for about another 3/4 of a year. And we should be all set. I could sell some eggs. And, of course, we also got some sheep's milk going on here. I think that trailer's only, I think it's like, what, 10 grand? Is that under miscellaneous? I think so. It's actually 12 grand for 10,000 liters. So I got the money. I could, got to get that at some point. But if I can keep it aside for a while. And how much do eggs go for? Been a long time since I just sold eggs. And I probably went by the eggs already. I'm pretty sure I did. Eggs, there they are. They can get up to 1,300, but not until November. And we're in April, which is like the worst time of year to sell eggs. Because the eggs are starting to pile on up. So maybe I'll have to push those aside. I'm not going to do like I did in No Man's Land, saying we got to sell eggs at least every 2 months because eggs will expire. Don't want to keep on to them for a year, but yeah, doesn't matter here too much. Took forever just to get our first pallet, but now they're starting to rack on up. So we'll let those stuff keep on spawning. How we doing here? Yield potential, expected yield 112% out of 100. Well, this field's looking rather good. Everything's looking rather good. Oh yeah, what is our, if we were to sell, what is our bonus like? So our bonus is 89. Or our score is 89, and we get a bonus of 12%. That's not too bad. Have to figure something on out. I wonder if that bonus is being applied to the electricity that we're selling back. No, it's not, because it still pays $3,000 an hour. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, I think we'll have to figure out some more ways to make this a little bit more cash. Because the silage bales we're going to get, we're not going to be selling till December/January. And unfortunately, the first 2 grass contracts that came up, they want hay. But there is a 3rd grass field, so maybe they'll come up as silage. We'll take that. But maybe I'll do some fertilizing contracts in between. Maybe a weeding contract as well. Since I got 2, decent-sized tractors, the T8 could do some, not fertilizing, but weed spraying. And then I can take the Class Arion out and just do some fertilizing jobs for some quick cash to rise on up. But speaking of rising up, we just hit the top of the hour. We just got like another $3,000 in our bank account, so that's always nice. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in East Vineland. But until then, have a good one.